Welcome to the after show. So we were just speaking to, well, it started when our engineer Steve came in and commented on Leroy's looking good. Looks like he's in shape. And Leroy made a comment about how he doesn't feel like he's in shape when he sniffs his ice cream because he wants to eat it. But he's like, let me just get a little.
Thank God it worked. It did the job. It did the job. I put the top back on and slid it back in the refrigerator. Matter of fact, anybody want that ice cream so I can get it out of my house?
I threw mine away for a reason.
That's what works for me with donuts. I don't remember the last time I had a donut, but every time somebody brings us donuts, or if like I'm with my wife on vacation or whatever, we get the kids donuts at like those fancy donut spots where it's like
Cane's.
Yeah. I go in and I'm like, let me just sniff the hell out of this place.
Yeah.
And I'm good. Or like cupcake, like bakeries or whatever. Mm-hmm. I love the smell of those. And then I feel good.
Well, I would like to bring in a special guest, our engineer, Steve.
Yeah, so Steve.
We would go ahead because we were talking about what our moment was.
Yeah. So then Steve looks at me and he goes, I saw a picture of you when you were like in your early 30s and you looked a little. Is that the pots that you still haven't? Is that the pots?
Yes.
The fucking pots.
Take
Steve,
the pots home.
Steve, do you want some cookware? Because Melissa clearly doesn't want it.
I do. I have nowhere to
That is not part of this station's inventory, and it's an occupational hazard.
The clanging of the pots
went
is
tea kettle on it.
the clanging of the pots is how I feel when I'm out of shape. When I'm just all that. That's how I feel on the inside.
You're like, where's that noise coming from?
Melissa's pots and pans.
Yo,
man,
move them to another end of the studio if you're not going to bring them home.
I'm sorry, before I rudely interrupted you, you were saying.
Oh, okay. So when Steve goes, I saw a picture of you in your early 30s. You know, you look kind of plump. And I said, no. I go, that was my early 20s. And I can tell you the exact moment when I realized that when I had my, you could lose a few pounds moment. And I explained, I was walking through the Square One Mall. So there are these things called malls. You've probably driven by them. They have stores. But people used to go in there and purchase things from those stores. Now you go in a mall and you're like,
where's everybody?
Yeah. No, people use them for walking.
Yeah.
Like they'll do laps.
You see tumbleweed going across and stuff. But anyway, so I'm walking through the mall with my cousin and his girlfriend, and they're walking past stores, and the stores have windows, but you can still see a reflection. And it's weird how this memory is so vivid. I was wearing a black long sleeve sweatshirt, and I was looking at myself sideways. And I was like, oh, my shirt's sticking out a little bit in the belly area. So I went to push it in, and my hands just got stuck. I'm like, what is going on? And I did the thing where I kind of felt over my belly, and then it got there was a hill, and then it was my chest here. And I'm like, and then I realized that whenever I would go to look in the mirror to go out and stuff, I always just looked at myself straight ahead. And I didn't have the hangover love handle thing going on. It just was like a beer belly, like a mosquito that got finished sucking blood. And from that day, I started doing a 360 view. I would rotate myself in the mirror to make sure, but that's when I hit the gym and never looked back.
Well, I got to say, you look fantastic. You were on the verge of a dad bod, which I can kind of respect because I have the body of a 42-year-old. Yeah, I have the body of a 42-year-old Latina, so with two boys. But
Not Latino, Latina.
A little thick in the hips, waiting for the childbearing years. But at least you didn't have to contend with that. Either way, you're still a beautiful man.
Thank you very much.
I know I'm bringing Steve in. You're going to see probably we're cut off here, but I'm bringing Steve in because he had one of those moments too. And he was just telling us about it off there.
I was shopping at a local supermarket, and I was en route inside through the parking lot when a woman who was looking to back out, I guess I was walking a little slow, and said, "Move out of the way, fat ass."
Oh, my God.
So I had to look at her and say, hey, at least I have one. But, that was it. But you know what? I've grown to accept my fatness, and it's become part of me. Here I am, world. Love me. Don't judge me.
What's wrong with people? Seriously.
Everyone's a critic, Melissa.
Well, let's go around the room. Leroy, do you have a...
Multiple ones. I mean, because it's been fluctuating. It's been a roller coaster. But one that's at the forefront of my mind right now is after my brother's wedding, because I was in the wedding and I looked at the pictures and I was like, I had no idea my belly was hanging. And I had a weird haircut going on too. So that was some more like mental and going through some stuff. But once I saw that, I said, oh man, I got to do something about it. And then there's the typical ones when I don't have to wear a belt, but yet the waist of my pants is cutting into the lower part of my belly. Like raw skin. Like what the heck? And then if I'm in a crowded room, typically like more like the train. Yeah. And I'm trying to maneuver around and I think people are touching me and they're not. It's just my everything has expanded and I haven't gotten used to maneuvering. You know, you never think about stuff like that. Like the calculations you do
the
to maneuver
awareness
through a crowd when you're used to a certain, look and body weight and whatnot. And I wasn't.
And it's funny because like it's almost like when you have kids, right? Like you actually commented. I was FaceTiming with my wife and my two youngest today, and Leroy comes over to say hi, and he goes, "Oh my God, Lucy is so big." And I get that she's big, but I see her every day. I see them every day, so I don't notice the growth as much as like other people who don't see them every day. And it's like that when you gain weight. You're like, I see myself every day. Why would I notice? Like unless it's like you put on like 50 pounds overnight, which you don't. It's always gradual, so that you just kind of like, you get used to your new look as you go along. And then when you get stuck on the train.
I don't think I had like a actual moment because I've been overweight most of my adult life. So for me, it's more so looking back and looking at how big I used to be and being like, ugh, I just never want to be there again.
Yeah.
So I almost really try to force myself, every day to do some sort of physical activity.
Yeah. Do you use old pictures as motivation?
It's funny because my friend Jamie's lost about 180 pounds. He's lost
a
lot of weight. He's one of those, everyone's different.
Felt.
Yeah. Really? But see, everyone's different because I like to look back and see how crazy I looked because it kind of, again, like I said, it kind of goes into my head like I never want to be there again. Yeah. He hates it. If I send him a picture of him and I from when we were both like 50 pounds or more, he's like, don't send that to me. Because to him, that reminds him of a place in his life that was very dark and depressing, and he doesn't want to revisit it.
Tell him to change his perspective and be like, yo, be like, I ain't going back in that cave.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah. But not everybody sees it that way.
That's a major part because I said with my brother's wedding, same thing. I was in a mental space that was depressing, oppressing, and I didn't realize it until I looked back and I'm like, yo, Lee, like, so I get where he's coming from. And for a lot of people, when it comes to their weight and stuff, that's what they're going through. I also want to say this real quick. Please do not hit us up with any DMs about, well, you saying this about weight. Speaking for myself, I'm happier when I'm in shape. I just want to, some people are happy at the weight that they're at. That's great. We're not sitting here pointing out everybody that's at a certain weight or anything. That's you. But for me, I got to be at a certain weight for me to be happy. I just puffiness in the face and all. No, got to go.
Yeah, that's where you see it.
Oh, yeah.
First, like, ugh.
Face, gut, butt. That's where it is for me.
For me, it's, like cheeks.
Yep.
And belly mostly.
Yep.
I'm telling. I remember that. I still remember. I picture myself walking and going, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then it's like I remember at the time being like thinking to myself, "But when I look in the mirror, oh my God, I don't look myself in the mirror sideways." Now I'm psychotic with it. I put on a new. Whatever. I'm trying on something new. I'm like, give it a spin, whatever. How's my ass looking this damn thing? Because you don't
bending over.
You look at you look at yourself like, you'll see pictures of yourself where you look really good. Or you get yourself ready for whether it's for the day or for a big event, and you're like, boom, 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 boom. This is the peak of what I look like. But then you go out. And life happens. It might be a hot day. It might be a windy day. Whatever. And everyone else is seeing all the other stuff. You saw yourself at your best. And you look at yourself, but people are seeing you all the time. So you got to be like, okay, well, what's the person seeing when they're behind me? What's the person seeing when they're next to me?
It's funny you mentioned that.
By the way, none of this is healthy. It's just what
I was going to say. That, when you mention that part, I think we also got to remember not everybody's paying attention to us when we're outside. A majority of people do not care.
They're thinking about themselves.
Yep. And we go out there and we think everyone's noticing every little detail about us ourselves, and it's just not. It's not true.
But they only notice the bad stuff. You got a little snot in your nose. You got something in your teeth. That's the shit they remember. Like, God, that motherfucker had shit in his teeth when he was talking to me. Fuck him.
On the reverse side of this, we were talking about our big back moments this morning.
Yeah.
We got a message. Leroy admitted to us that he had never tried the purple Doritos, which are my absolute favorite, the spicy chili. And Mookie messaged us and said, and he's giving me, and I'm like, I'm so mad you just told me this because now I'm going to gain 5 pounds. He said, try them with cream cheese. He said it'll change your life.
No.
And that's what I said to him. I said, no, because I will legit be, again, I'll gain 10 pounds this weekend because those are my favorite Doritos. I won't even put them in the house because then I'll just be eating them. I won't do it. But I can imagine dipping those in cream cheese and how good that would be.
There's alternatives to everything. I could tell you a couple of alternatives. That it's
for
like
cream cheese?
For the Doritos, for the cream, like, and here's
Quest protein Doritos.
And by the way, as a matter of fact, by the way, the alternatives, like, it's bullshit. At the end of the day, it's still shit.
Right.
It's just
processed food.
It's just less shitty shit than the shit you normally have.
Right.
So you have to like keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, I'm eating fat-free, healthy Doritos. No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. You're eating less shitty Doritos. But whatever it is. But there's those, and then there's different versions of like cream cheese or cottage cheese or whatever. Mix that shit in with some ground beef.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I gotta find a cottage cheese that I like because I'm always afraid. I've never really tried it, but I know I would like it.
Yeah.
Because it just for something about the curdled milk, like it's to me, I picture it as milk gone bad, so I don't ever want to eat it.
Oh, come on.
But I know it's good for you. So
you stop thinking so much. That's like
No,
when you
I
get on
know.
a plane. It's like, don't think that you're in
I know.
Cylinder 10,000 feet in the sky. Just be like,
35,000 feet.
yeah, whatever. Just be like, I'm flying to Florida.
Right.
The
Right.
end. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.